30-minute show. Here we go. We're back, guys. This is a Bear Down Breakdown, season 3, episode 5. We have made it to the halfway mark. We had episode 4 last Friday. Unfortunately, we could not be there again. Ain't that right, Ronan?
hmm
Talk to us what's going on right now, Mr. Running in negative 30-degree weather.
It's cold, man. It's cold, and I'm tired, and it's no fun. It's like -7 out,
Hmm.
and everybody's turning into popsicles, and it's not even that bad. I was just in like long sleeve shirt, but
It
when I
absolutely is
got
that bad.
when I got back, it was like, oh, it was no fun.
It is
But
that bad. Bro's
gotta do what you
overreacting.
gotta do for the
Yeah,
career.
it is bad out here, but you know what? It could be a lot worse. We could be the Green Bay Packers, ain't that right?
We could be.
It could be Green Bay Packer fans. It could be a lot worse. Ain't that right, Ronan?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's obvious. Well, let's start with the obvious here. Our season's over. We've gone over that 2 times now. But
Mhm.
now that the grief has kind of settled in, we kind of gotten past the whole thing of what's happened here. What are we feeling now? All right. The grief is gone. We're looking forward to the offseason along with a multitude of teams. All right. There's been a lot of talk with Max Crosby. I want
Mhm.
your opinion now. Is it time to trade for Max Crosby? Do you feel like it's just a little too early to trade our assets for him?
It's time to trade for somebody. I mean, the Bears defense obviously needs the help. We're gonna get gutted in the offseason with a lot of
Yep.
their key players, especially if we want to get
And
Crosby.
coaches.
Yeah, and well, I don't know. We'll see. There's a lot of quality guys on the market that I think would take the place over them, but it
I
really
agree.
just depends on how things pan out. He's got Harbaugh to the Giants. You got
Yep.
Baltimore. They have a new coach.
Jesse Minter. You have Kevin
Jesse
Stefanski to the
Minter.
Falcons.
Robert Saleh to the Titans,
Yep.
and geez, who else?
We got a lot of other ones going on right now. There's still a lot of openings left.
Yeah, the Browns have a vacancy.
Yeah.
Um,
They're going through it. Freaking Philip Rivers is interviewing for the Bills.
yeah, that would be something.
That was something, all right.
I don't think that happens. I don't think he's qualified,
No, no, absolutely
but
not.
we'll see, man. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, we got a multitude of things, like we said. We'll say I think we do trade for Crosby, but we'll start off with the things that we already know right now. Since the season's over, the grief is over. We lost
Mhm.
Eric Bieniemy. We covered that last time. We knew it was happening, right? Money talks is unfortunate. I love this role here, but it's just not going to happen right now. And let's go into the next step. Declan Doyle was interviewed by the Eagles to be their play caller. Yes, it is a lateral move, but he doesn't call plays here in Chicago. He will call plays over in Philadelphia. And he hasn't
Yeah.
taken it. They also interviewed Matt Nagy, by the way, which is interesting. But I don't think Doyle leaves yet. He's not even 30 yet. He's 29. So we're going to see what happens with him. Al Harris interviewed for DC jobs with Packers. Yuck. Granted, he is a former Packer. The Commanders and now the Titans defensive coordinator position. What are your thoughts on this so far? These are the only reported coaches that have been interviewed so far.
Hold on, I'm getting a call, but yeah, I think there's a risk that we could lose some people, but I think at the end of the day, hold on, gotta tell my dad I'm doing the
No worries.
show. I think there's a risk, but I really think a lot of our guys are like 1 year wonders. It's not going to be like a Ben
Mhm.
Johnson thing until we can have continued success.
I
I would
agree.
say we should worry about that in like year 3 or year 4 once these guys start to really get defined. But
Hmm.
I think they're really the only one that's at risk of us losing is Al Harris to a
Yeah.
defensive coordinator spot. But even then, I think there's a lot of quality guys out there that would that would probably
We could
fit those roles
replace.
better. And also
Yeah.
we gotta talk down on Al Harris because our
Yeah.
DB sucked. They
Yep.
were really bad this year, not too good. So
We got to talk
we'll
down so
see.
we could go ahead and keep them. Look,
I gotta turn on the
I
heat
like Al
here. It's so
Harris.
cold.
If look, here's the thing with me. If Al Harris does end up leaving, please don't let it be to the Packers. God, please.
No, that would be
Like,
horrible.
dude, because one, he knows our scheme, so it would just instantly help him. And then two,
Yeah.
it's like I don't want to lose nobody to the Packers, man, who we just demolished.
He
And
should
even to the
probably take
Commanders is a
Nashon with him
terrible
too.
one. Yeah, exactly. That's another thing too. He probably
Because
takes
they cut
Nathan with him.
Diggs.
Yeah,
They cut
and
Diggs and
Nation's essentially Diggs 2.0. and they would most likely take Nashon with them. And I'm assuming, but they're saying that they're not really heavily considering him. They're actually heavily considering Jonathan Gannon instead. So it seems like right
Take
now
him. Yeah.
they go, man. They're heavily considering Harris for the Commanders or Titans job.
Hmm.
Where would you like to see him fit better if he were to leave us? Because we don't want him to go to Commanders because you have this mini rivalry according to them.
Yeah, I would say probably Titans. He would
Yeah.
probably suck for a couple of years there. I mean, I would say Sal is probably going to get the defensive play calling responsibility, so he's
Hmm.
probably just going to be looking for a
A
for
consultant for the DBs.
not even. I don't think he would leave for that. He would only leave for a paycheck raise. So I would say it would likely be the Commanders or even
Hmm.
Baltimore. Baltimore could be one that we could lose
Yeah.
him to, but
But Jesse Minter's play calling defense for them. So it really
yeah.
depends.
Yeah, but it's.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you
mean, it's
gotta be on the
interesting.
lookout. But
Yeah.
speaking
And
of defense,
mhm.
Max Crosby is one that we have been looking at.
Yeah. I mean,
I
we've
it would
rumored
either
him for a
be
while.
it would either be Crosby, Garrett, or Hendrickson. I don't think the I don't think the Browns get rid of Garrett. He's just such a
No,
key guy there, and I think Garrett wouldn't even want that. But it
no.
depends. I wouldn't want Garrett personally. I think that just with his age, like I want somebody who we can have for at
And
least
salary.
like yeah, for at least 5 to 6 years and really become like a staple on the defense. This guy would have
Hmm.
to instantly be like the future of our team.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
as much as I don't like DJ Moore being in trade talks because I like him on the team. I like the
Yeah.
fact that he makes our offense very dynamic and that we can have like three wide receiver ones that are all very capable.
Yep.
But then again, when he's given up on routes when we need him the most, it's almost like that has to happen. But
Yeah, I mean, it makes almost too much sense. You know what I mean? For an Eno
And like
Mendoza,
Cole
most likely a
Kmet
Raider.
is another person that I'm seeing in a
Yeah.
lot of trade conversations.
Yes.
I could see him going, and honestly, it would be good for him to go because he's seeing a reduced role. I wouldn't want him unhappy in the last years in Chicago. He's had a really great time here. He's been a really great player, and he's been around for a lot of those years. But I really do think that Loveland is going to be that guy to step up, and I really think that we can, if we like Durham Smythe as much as Ben Johnson does, I would say keep him or even draft a tight end.
Right.
I don't know how this tight end class is panning out, and I don't know who the free agents are going to be, but I
But
do think
realistically, we
that,
don't need a top
yeah,
tier guy.
Cole Kmet is like he's not a top tier guy. I would say
Mm-mm.
he's a reliable option and like check downs, and he's able like
Blocker.
he's thrived in these roles because he gets forgotten about.
Hmm.
And he was always that over the middle threat, but it was because he was just big. And
Yeah.
he'd sometimes make space, but I really do think that Caleb to Loveland is going to be the future. Unfortunately, I wish it was Caleb to Komet, but
Hmm.
Loveland is just so good. And
You
he's
just can't
gonna
deny that talent.
and yeah, he's probably gonna be one of our top pass catchers come the end of next season, I could predict.
I
So
agree. Even for next year's after that. Now, let me float something by you because I crunched the numbers, all right?
mhm.
And if we do trade DJ Moore, we gain 16.5 million in cap space. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's obviously beneficial if we want to get Crosby because he's on a big contract. If we trade Cole Kmet, it's 8.5 mil. If we
Mhm.
trade Montez, it's 16.9, essentially
I
17
don't think we
mil.
do that. I don't think we do
No,
that. I
I
think
think we need him.
we would flip the money that we would take out of DJ and we would like either what's going to happen is we're going to trade him or we're going to
Hmm.
restructure his deal. And I think that both of those would lead to him being slightly unhappy.
Yeah.
And so I would say that trading him would be good. I mean, even to the Titans for Jeffrey Simmons, I wouldn't mind that either.
Yeah.
I would
I
think
mean,
that
nice.
that would be pretty good. Or even the Giants, like we could
Hmm.
potentially even trade Cole Kmet to the Giants for Kayvon Thibodeau, and I would be
That would be
happy with
nice.
that. And that is a realistic option because that room is so loaded.
Yeah, and
But
they stopped using Kayvon Thibodeau. They just gave his role away to Emil
yeah,
Carter.
new head coach, he's probably going to want to make a splash. I think Cole
Yeah,
Kmet, like their tight end room, who is their tight end?
is Theo Johnson. He's good, but he's always hurt.
Yeah, so like that would be really good and dynamic for the Giants, and I think especially with
Jackson Dart.
Harbaugh. Harbaugh has like those two tight end sets where you can have
Hmm.
Likely and you can have Andrews, and that kind of it brought a really dynamic uh sort of feel to their game. So I would say that that's possible. I don't see a lot of people talking about that really, which is kind of
Yeah,
shocking.
I mean it makes
But
sense.
Yeah, I could see, commit to the Giants for Thibodeau, and then, we would probably just restructure DJ Moore. That could be like I feel like that's the most conservative route and probably the route that Ryan Poles would go in, but I don't
Yeah.
know. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, we got a lot too, and then don't forget we need to we got to stack up on draft picks. And then we saw today
Hmm.
at report at 1 p.m. by Josh from the Athletic that the Falcons completed another interview with the Falcons with for Cunningham, yeah, Ian Cunningham with the Falcons
You
to
gotta
get their
hope.
GM job.
You gotta hope, man.
Yeah, I mean, that would be huge. That would be real huge because if Ian Cunningham, and we've seen this over and over again, like remember when last offseason cycle to the Jags, we had that whole thing happen. I
Hmm.
could see him go to the Falcons because he's a good friend of Matt Ryan, who's their
Hmm.
president of operations. And if Ian Cunningham goes there, because he's been interviewed twice already, he would be their GM, and we would gain two third-round draft picks,
That'd be
and
big.
we could potentially flip those to get another player in free agency or to draft or replace somebody. I mean, these are all possibilities. And with Eric Bieniemy being hired, we also get another draft pick as well.
Okay, so let's run down the list here of our
Okay, I
needs. I think this is going to be a good segment.
think it is.
And it's just how each of us would address it. So first
Okay, let's
off is
start
going to be the
easy, obvious
corner.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, let's do the corners first.
yeah.
We'll make it a little bit, dramatic. But
Okay.
corners, I think we see Tyreek in an increased role. I never
Mhm.
understood why they benched him. I get the Commanders game sucked, but he was doing really well.
That
And
Rams game, he was unbelievable.
So I think that at least corners wise, maybe we'll draft somebody in the second. There's a
Okay.
guy from what's it, USC that had his name floated around that I
Oh
saw
yeah, I forgot. He's
papers,
actually more of
but
a safety role.
yeah, so that could be a potential Brisker replacement if he walks. I
Yep, I
see us
agree.
extending Byard, but at least for like
Yeah,
2 years. I would hope that we would extend Brisker. I like him. I think the team likes him, but I think overall it we're just gonna have to come down to like, how the money is. But
yeah. It's not a
I
massive
hope
need
they do.
either,
But it looks like CJ Gardner Johnson might not be coming back. I would
which
hope he does.
sucks. I
Like,
want him back. I think he's a really good rotational piece.
yeah. But we're just gonna have to see. But I think, Kyler stays,
Mhm.
everybody else stays, and
And we're still getting players back from injury like Terrell Smith, Zoff Frazier. We're
yeah.
getting these guys fully healthy with a full off
Kyler's gonna
season.
have the off season to get healthy too. Jalen's gonna
Yep,
have the off season to get healthy. A lot of those guys were playing injured.
exactly.
So that's at least how I would address it. I'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, I think if we're starting in the corner first, I don't think it's a massive need realistically. We have options here. We obviously Jalen Jordan a good contract. Keep him. People are saying he's washed and should go are idiotic. You can clearly tell he's hurt. There's a reason he wasn't in every single play.
You
He
say
would be
Jalen
on
Jordan?
Jalen Johnson.
Oh, okay. I was like,
Yeah, no. People would like complain and say he's washed, and I don't agree. I think that
no.
he's played injured, and how does a guy that's supposed to be out all season come back in like week 10 against the Eagles and all of a sudden is supposed to be fully okay? He clearly was
Yeah.
not okay, but he saw the playoff push we were doing and came back. And he would be on the sideline. They panned it to him one day, just wincing in pain. But guess what? He'd come
Uh,
right back out there, and that
a
stuff's
lot of
not
those
easy to come back
Toradol
from.
shots. A lot of those
Huh?
Toradol shots.
Yeah, yeah, dude. I mean, it happens. You know what I mean? And I think Kyler's going to be okay. Nashawn Wright most likely has to go. He's going to want to pay it. I just don't think we do that. We still have Tyreek for like 2 more years. I think you go ahead and keep developing Zoll Frazier. He's 6'4", speedy, long arms. It's literally
Yeah.
Nashawn Wright 2.0 right there. Bit of Tariq Woolen is what I've seen. And then you also get Terrell Smith back. And then if you can get Chauncey back for, I don't know, a 2 year, 8 mil deal, I'm
I
okay
gave him
with
for
it.
three. I gave him for three. He
Yeah,
was just such
he's
an
young.
impact player, and he could easily be that trash talker that we would need from
Hmm.
those guys. I think we would keep him,
I like him in
but
a gunner role as well.
I think it's either going to be Brisker or CJ. I don't see it
Mm,
being both. I
yeah,
like just for consistency, I'd hope they'd keep those guys, and at least,
yeah.
if Harris stays, that would be
Hmm.
really good for their development, but we'll see. But moving
Yeah.
on to the next position of need, what do we have?
I say we should honestly talk about linebackers because
Hmm.
if we cut Tremaine Edmonds, we get 15 million cap.
I've seen that happen on almost all the mock drafts and
Yeah,
off-season drafts.
it just appears to be happening. He's just too
Hmm.
pricey. He's been getting hurt, and I just don't know what we would do. I like him a lot. I think he's a fantastic linebacker, but he's getting paid a lot of money right now.
Hmm. Yeah, I would say go for a restructure first,
I
like
agree.
cut it in half if you can. But if not, then I would say trade him if you can.
Hmm.
Like
I
trade him for
agree.
a third, maybe let him go back to the Bills or
They could use
who,
him.
yeah, or somebody.
The
But
Bucks could use him. I mean,
yeah, the
Levante
Bucks
Davis
could
about to be
use
done.
him. And then isn't Demario Davis going into
Demario
free
Davis is a free
agency?
agent.
Yeah, I would say sign him. Why
He would
not?
fit perfectly in Dennis Allen's defense.
Yeah, they have that chemistry.
Former Saint
Yep, and speaking of another former Saint in a position of need that we can move down to, that edge rusher, I would say
Chase
that
Young.
not Chase Young, Trey
Okay.
Hendrickson. That's a
Mm.
former Saint. That's a
He is a former
former
Saint.
Dennis Allen guy. And I would just say it's all about the money because the
I
Bengals
agree.
paid him a 1 year, $30 million
It's a
deal.
lot of
Then
money.
he was the consistent sack crown champ. But at the end
Hmm.
of the day, it's just like, how is the money going to turn out? Because he's like what, 31? He's kind of entering like his Khalil Mack days, where
Yeah.
Khalil Mack is right now. But if he
Injuries.
can if he can keep producing like Mack is right now, I would say sign him to a 3 year 20 mil, like 25 mil a year
Yeah.
and make it an incentives at least down the
I
stretch.
agree.
You can give him like that guaranteed money but yeah, you got to be careful with that. He's definitely going to hit the market,
Hmm.
and there's definitely going to be a lot of competitive offers. But I think that now that we are in that championship window, I could see him coming here, and I could see a lot of
Yeah.
guys coming here. And then of course, you have the Max Crosby talks. I would say that that's the option I prefer, and that would be an amazing splash. I would say DJ Moore and I don't know. Like we would probably have to trade our first,
We probably do have to trade it first, either this year or next
but
year's.
I would say if you're trading for Crosby, you're going all in. So I would trade next year's first
Hmm.
and DJ
Probably a
Moore,
second.
yeah, and like a third
Hmm.
for him.
I can agree with that.
And I would think that, the hype is there. Ryan Pohl seems enthused by the idea. It's just going to come down to like how much can we give?
Yep. Absolutely.
But I don't know. What would you trade for?
The thing is, it's such an odd deal because no matter what, somebody's always going to be mad. You know what I mean? Someone's always going to feel
Yeah.
the type of way. They're going to think that we did the perfect deal or someone's just playing because it's DJ or we gave too much. Look, here's what I'm going to say, and I'm going to say it all the time. If you have an elite quarterback on a rookie deal, and I think Caleb is reaching that elite status. I don't think he's there yet, but he's going to be there soon. You have
Hmm.
to go get
Oh
somebody.
no, he's
We
he's elite. He is elite now.
I think he is. I just say elite status for me is just propel a little bit more on the accuracy, but I think he's trending there. Like
We
he's
win because of him.
that is
That
true.
is one thing I will push back on you against because we
That's
win
fair.
because of
No, we
Caleb.
do, and I don't
And
discredit him for that as well. I just think he's stepping in the direction where 30 years usually hit their biggest stride, and he's hitting that big stride. Is what I mean.
mhm,
And when you're gonna have a quarterback that's about to enter his prime, because Caleb's not even scratching the surface. I think we can both agree on that.
mhm.
That this isn't even the best form of Caleb yet. And if you have a chance to advance that, and he's gonna be able to hit his peak and his prime soon, he's gonna get better and better as the years go. You go get him. You go get a game changer like Max Crosby. You send DJ Moore 100%. You get 17 mil back, and it kind of cancels out the fare of dead cap and whatnot. And I think you probably give up a first. Maybe they're probably gonna ask for this year, but I mean, then again, it's what we're picking at 27. Realistically,
Yeah.
what
25,
with
25.
25? Thank you, thank you.
Mhm.
What edge rusher could we really pick at 25? That's not Ruben Bain. I mean, there's really nobody there that's worth taking at that point. And I think you go give him 25 this year. You give him an elite number one wide receiver for Fernando Mendoza, and then you also ship him out like a third and like maybe another player to like fit cap wise, and another player would probably be like I don't know one of our lower string DBs or something. You know what I mean? Because they need DB help. Give him like
Yeah.
Elijah Hicks or whatever.
Ugh, they
You know what I
wouldn't bite
mean?
on that.
Well, I just say that more for cap because he has like 2 years left and he's like a 2 mil guy. I think just enough. But if we're not talking about
Mm.
players, I think you go send them DJ Moore, first round pick, and a third. I think you gotta send somebody out there. But first, it's evident he's 27 in the peak of his prime. He's getting better somehow, and that's on a terrible D line. Terrible. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And and you're gonna put him
He's a
on
game
a demo.
wrecker.
He's a game wrecker. I mean, you saw what he did against us when we played them.
Hmm.
He nearly single-handedly won that game. And that was all granted it was with no Darnell Wright, but it doesn't matter.
He's
The
just
fact
a
that
game wrecker and a
he's
culture
just too
setter, and that's the
good.
kind of guy that you want.
Exactly. This is a guy that not every team has an opportunity to trade for. Is not on the right timeline. We're on the timeline to get a guy like that. You go get him. It's as simple as that. You put him in a Dennis Ellis scheme. Him, Montez, Austin Booker, Shamar Turner when we get him back healthy. I'm really excited about.
Hmm.
Right. You get Dexter in that frame, Grady Jarrett, and then you get everybody moving in and out of pieces. You have a really, really promising good D line. Just Crosby alone makes it happen. Now you add a speed rusher like Austin Booker, a power rusher like Montez, and your three DTs who can be really good. You have a D line. Linebackers and secondary automatically gets good because I know you can agree with me on this, Ronan. The less time a QB has a throw, the better your secondary is going to look because coverage sacks are not happening anymore. You have to make
No.
this move. But I want your thoughts on what I just said.
No, I agree. You got to have that pressure, and we didn't have that, and that's why we lost a lot of games.
Yeah.
Those
And that made our
teams that
DBs look worse
have,
than they did.
yeah, those teams that have really solid like offensive lines, like the Rams, like the
Mhm.
Lions, we lose games because those guys can protect the quarterback and they can give him time for the
Even on
receivers to,
blitzes.
yeah, they can finish their routes, they can make multiple cuts. Like that's how Aaron Rodgers used to win a bunch because.
Yeah.
I mean, besides Devontae Adams, he wasn't really thrown to anybody. And
Hmm.
so, yeah, it's just one of those things where you got to have that pressure. You got to be able to have it on all sides of the football, and one it starts up front.
It does. It absolutely starts up front. Like I said, you win and lose games in the trenches. There's a reason that
Yeah,
said you win and lose these games in the trenches. And if you cannot capitalize on a superstar edge rusher and Max Crosby, then you don't want it enough. It's as simple as that.
yeah.
You know what I
Well,
mean?
speaking
You
of the trenches, we have another
yes.
issue we have to address.
How
Ozzy
did you feel him?
Trujillo has the
Hmm.
risk of being out all season. Yeah, it's a really
Scary.
bad injury, and one of those things that you have to worry about it. Like you
Yeah,
have to
because
be
he's a
like,
hell of
okay.
a left tackle.
I don't think we sign anybody in free agency. I would
No.
say I
Stick with
agree with a
Theo.
lot of the mock drafts where they say like pick a guy in the third, don't bring back Braxton Jones, please
No,
God.
he's gone. You know he's absolutely gone.
Yeah, I would say draft a guy, you know, and then just see how he is at the offseason, see how he's progressing, and go from there. But who else do we have? How long is Swift here for? Another year or
He's
two?
one more year, but there's talks of him being either traded or cut because we do
Hmm.
gain a lot of money from him being gone.
I wouldn't see that. They're such an integral part of the offense. It probably wouldn't happen this year. It would probably either happen mid-season
Hmm.
or like next year. They would just let him walk.
Yeah, I think they're not comfortable letting Monanga take the reins because he's not fast enough, which is fine. But do
Hmm.
you see a world where we trade Swift away to whatever team wants to bid for him and get Brees Hall instead? Swift is 27, 28, Brees Hall's 25. Do you see a world in where this happens?
No, it's too much money. Like, unless we can sign him for the same money that we have Swift, which I don't think so, because Brees
Would it be
is a
possible? Swift gets paid 8 mil a year. The average for a running back is 8 to 10.
what's Brees getting?
Breeze, he's on a rookie deal right now, so he's getting less.
Well, he's gonna want more coming over here, and we're gonna have to
Mm,
extend them.
that is true. I think if you can get him for the right price, I would, because he has his injury concerns. He hasn't produced as much, and I think he's willing to take a 1 year prove it deal. If he says, "I'll come to you guys for 1 year, 5 mil," are you doing it?
5 mil?
Yeah,
I just don't see a world where he asks that.
I think. Well, how about 1 year, 10 mil? All right,
It, I would
I
probably
would
just
give
grab
it
him
to
for.
him.
I'd probably just get him for 3 years, honestly. Like,
But what if we want him on a prove it deal? What if he wants a prove it deal? Because you have to
well, he
understand the
doesn't. He doesn't
negotiation.
have much to prove. He's a really good player, and he could probably go anywhere else and
It's
get
just more
bigger money.
injuries. The injuries are a
Yeah.
big deal.
Hmm. But we'll see. I think it's one of those things where time
Yeah,
will
I mean,
tell.
we got to see. And I guess with our last remarks here for what we want to see next, because we still have the NFC Champ game this weekend and the Super
Hmm.
Bowl. once the Super Bowl ends, everybody's got is square one, every single team,
Mhm.
okay? And that's probably going to start with coaching, firings, OC, DCs. When we start the combine, all right, combine starts in March. What do you think Poles is going to do in that situation? Because he's been really good with the Senior Bowl, sending people out to the combine. Do you see him take a different approach this year,
No,
especially
I
with
think it's
Ben?
the same thing. I think it's the same thing.
Okay. Do you
But
see him
it's
targeting a
probably going to be
specific
very
group?
Ben focused. It's probably going to
Yeah.
be very much like, it's going to be the good, better, best plan. It's going to go from
Hmm.
coaching up to staff, and then the staff is going to look for that. I don't think it's going to be like how it was where Eberflus was just so stupid that he
Yeah,
didn't know
dude.
what he was doing. I think that was a lot of what affected our draft classes was,
Hmm.
Eberflus just was such a
Getting
dull.
his hands in there.
Yeah, like who did we draft the year before Caleb when he was there?
Oh my
Like
God. Who
like
did we?
you don't even remember, you
Caleb
know?
was 24, 23, our first round pick. Jesus, I feel like we're missing an easy one here. It just his
Like I
draft
don't
classes are
was it
so
Darnell?
irrelevant. No, Darno was 2022, I believe.
No, I think he was 23.
Was he?
I don't think we had any picks in 2022.
It was Darno Wright. Yes, it was Darno
Hmm.
Wright. He hit, but it wasn't because of him. He finally got a real O line coach, and look what happened.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
granted, it all really was because of Ben Johnson. Dan Rocher's unbelievable. He made everything happen. And I think he's done an integral job of keeping these guys together and working hard. And I think we'll be okay on the left side. I think Theo can start finding up there if you want. You can start Joe Tooney there for a couple of games. The news is that Theo Benedict is staying, they're saying, but even better news, Audie Chappelle's already in rehab. He's out of surgery and he's already rehabbing.
Oh wow.
So it was a
Tough
very,
guy.
very good surgery. I mean, dude, he's a big guy, man. He's 6'8", 330. I mean, guy's awesome. And he's tough, man. Like on that
Biggest
play,
boy.
he tore his full like foot and everything, and he did not stay on the ground. He limped over the sideline so we wouldn't take a timeout. That should show you how tough of a player and the culture that Ben Johnson has instilled.
Hmm.
You simply want that from your team. And I think we'll be okay. You can always start Joe Tooney on the left. He did great from when we need him to. I prefer him not to there because I do think he's really good on that left guard side. If anything, I think the Bears probably just draft like an experimental left tackle in the draft or get like a little band-aid in Theo there and like give him some chip help with like Loveland or Durham Smythe.
Yeah, I would honestly say, save the picks, keep Theo, and just wait it out until Trapillo's back.
I agree. I do think we should take more O-line depth though, because that's always a good thing to have.
Yeah, just do
And
do it in the fourth or third.
yeah, fourth or third, go get yourself a big left tackle that you think you can mold into a really high end backup. You know what I mean? Have him step in when you need to in those jumbo packages that Ben likes to run, and you just
Yeah.
have to keep him going at that.
Yeah.
Can't have that going. But do you have any
Yeah.
final remarks before we finish up here on
I do
season three,
not
episode
know.
five?
Just tired, stay warm, don't freeze, and
Uh, we're not gonna
wear your
freeze.
winter coats.
Bears will be back. We will not. This loss will not hurt. When you have Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams, it's like every other team. No matter how gutted the Bills get, they're always competing. No matter how gutted the Chiefs get, they'll compete. They're going to be back next year. We all know this. So it's now or never for the Bears. They got to go get Crosby and change and shake up the whole NFC because once
Yeah,
Stafford is gone, that NFC is wide open for best QB.
it very much is.
Got to go make it happen right now. Now or never. I know Ryan Poles and Ben Johnson are making good things happen. Ain't that right?
Hmm.
Sounds awesome. Thank you guys for tuning in. Ronan will have this uploaded instantly for us. This is season three, episode five. We will be back next Friday, potentially live streaming as well. We got a lot more good things coming up soon. Check us out on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. We got a lot of good things here. This is Bird on Breakdown. We'll see you guys next time.
Thank you.